So you are telling me that Quique Setien is already doing better with a midfield of Busquets, Rakitic and Vidal than Valverde did with Artur, De Jong and Busquets. That's incredible. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today we're here to talk about the match that I just saw, that you just saw, that everyone just saw. The debut of Quique Setien with Barcelona getting a victory over Granada 1-0. This game could have gone, I was going to say could have gone very, very wrong. It could have honestly been completely terrible if we didn't manage to show some sort of change. If the players didn't manage to, show some impact on the field. The whole entire purpose of this kind of Valverde out movement per se was completely useless, but thankfully we did see a lot of improvements, a lot of changes that happened, and I'm here to tell you exactly how it developed throughout these 90 minutes. The very first thing that I want to say is that we are back, baby. We are back. Not necessarily from, just being completely flash and everything, but at least we were trying. We were trying, and it showed there. Every single player was running a little bit further with more attitude. That's everything that I've been mentioning and asking for in my previous videos after watching every single draw, even win that Barcelona suffered under Valverde. I always wanted to see some sort of kind of intention that we were trying to get to play the right way. And that didn't happen. But with Setien here, he managed to give the players that sort of philosophy back, that feeling that they want, the feeling that the fans want, the feeling that he wants as a manager, and what we want to see in our club. And that is to play nice football, because we were certainly doing that. It was way more enjoyable. The goals were not coming, and I was not exactly worried, but I didn't care that much, because we were just playing good football, and it was giving me such a happy time. And that's the main thing that I want to say with you guys, is that watching this game I felt much more relaxed. I didn't care about necessarily the end result. I was caring about seeing each individual play, seeing, okay, now who has the ball, what are we doing? There was just so much more kind of joyfulness surrounding this game, surrounding this entire performance. And that is one thing that hopefully all of you felt as well, that it's good to see our team playing good again. Simply, that's how it is. I find Barcelona enjoyable again, and I'm happy for that. So just like we always do, let's start off with the lineup. The Quique Setien shows a 4-3-3, but a hybrid 4-3-3. It seemed that before Valverde was trying a hybrid of, 4-3-3 and 4-4-2 when defending, but Quique Setien has changed that up a bit. When it comes to attacking, we kind of play a 4-3-3, but when defending, we change to a 3-4-3. And that opened up so many different spaces and helped us have much more of a, I don't want to say solid defensive unit, but certainly more capable of tracking back in quick transitions. Because whenever the ball was falling into Granada, we would just put more numbers into the midfield, because we had more midfielders per trade there, and then we were able to close them down. The three at the back that most of the time were playing were Sergio Roberto, Busquets, Samuel Umtiti, and then we had through the two carrileros, the two wing backs, we had Jordi Alba, and the other one Arturo Vidal. Both of them played really good, especially Jordi Alba, and we can see that he's returning to form under Quique Setien, and he is a very big miss that we had with not necessarily Valverde before, but because of the injuries and everything added to that, he wasn't able to get the same consistency that he's been able to get in previous seasons. So that is a huge, huge positive from Setien already, being able to change this formation and give outlets to the players that needed it. I think that certainly our midfield wasn't particularly the most creative one. Rakitic and Vidal and Busquets struggle a little bit to be able to kind of penetrate into the top three. Most of the time it was Lionel Messi coming in deep as a number 10, trying to open it up, and sometimes even him playing as a false 9, trying to progress the attack, to get it moving forwards, That midfield will get a lot of kind of improvements with the inclusion of Arthur and then Frankie de Jong when we play more games. And in this game particularly, it saw a huge boost when RIQUI PUIG was introduced later on in the second half. I'm going to be talking more in depth about him, but in quick words, that was such a great moment, wasn't it? Having said that, in our attack, I really want to signal out Ansu Fati and Antoine Griezmann, because they were able to have a really good understanding of overlapping and switching sides. That is something that normally with Luis Suarez kind of leaves Antoine Griezmann either kind of pushed to the left-hand side, and we didn't really see that much here in this game. Also, it could be attributed to kind of Lionel Messi dropping in deep, acting as that false nine, as a number 10, whatever you want to say. Well, false nine, technically, that's literally what a false nine is. And yeah, so they had more room to play around with, and especially fact he had a lot of the ball, and a lot of the kind of creativity at the end of the day came through his side in the early first half, and that is something that I like to see already. 16 years old, and he gets that amount of priority, that amount of kind of what do you call it, responsibility, and that is great. That is great to see. Those minutes are being attributed to the players that deserve it. We saw minutes to Ansu Fati, to RIQUI PUIG, to Carles Perez, and all of them performed well. All of them performed admirably. But all of them have demonstrated that they are important key parts to our team. Just because they're young doesn't mean that they cannot contribute right now. They're certainly for the future, but they're as well for the present. So now afterwards, I want to mention the kind of overall progression of the game. And the first half started, and we could all see that something was already changing. The movement and circulation of the ball was way faster. And that is something that under Valverde we really severely lacked, because most of the times the intensity of the opposition team would be better at the start than ours. I'm super happy to say as well that the recovery of the ball, which is probably one of the most important key elements to having such an attacking team, but also be able to have a team that's stable, it was just wonderful. It really was. A recovery of the ball high up the field. We stole the ball from the opposition so often, and then we were able to just get the attack rolling again and again and again. And that's how you exert their domination. I'm gonna use an example really quickly, like in NFL, you know, if in American football you kind of want to start gaining ground. And that's exactly what Barcelona does here when we recover that ball further up the field. We get it back, we cover ground. We get the ball back further up the field even more, and then we push even further. And then the opposition team in Granada here have to kind of crawl back into their own area. And we just saw a complete domination from Barca. I haven't seen a game where Barca dominated like this. I haven't seen it at all. First half already 81.8% possession. That's insane. And I'm saying that's insane when in reality that is what Barca should be doing every single game. That just tells you how big the gap has been between us performing admirably and playing poorly and winning games. Sometimes for us, a club, an identity, we like that. We like to win in a good way. And I'm not scared to say it, but that's how it needs to continue. Valverde didn't achieve that. Quique Setien already his first game is showing something. I'm not saying he's necessarily better than Valverde, but he's putting us towards the path that most people like. And in the second half, guys, I don't have to come in here and say that we put our foot off the pedal. I don't have to say that anymore. We continue with the domination. We actually continue with what we did in the first half. How many times has that happened in a year and a half? That hasn't happened at all. Barcelona again, continue with it. Continue pressuring, continue winning the ball back. We had a slight moment where we were a little bit rattled, but that's going to happen in every game. Granada is certainly going to find the ball, a foul is going to happen, and Granada are going to get they're going to win the ground, you know? They're going to cover up more ground, and they're going to get a chance. And they had a chance through Yal Etiki, I think was his name. I'm not too sure, number 8. I know he was number 8 for Granada. Very good shot onto the lower half of the goal. He went off the post, unfortunately for them, thankfully for us. But that's what happened, guys. And then afterwards, Barcelona just continue steaming Granada. If this was Valverde would have put RIQUI PUIG in the last 10 minutes when nothing really was up for grabs. But Quique Setien, no, he was like, I have RIQUI PUIG, he's a youngster, but I'm going to use him. He's a tool at my disposal that I think he can fix this game. And he fixed it, yes he did, because the goal came shortly after from his recovery. Very good pressure onto the Granada player, winning back. Was it onwards to Busquets to Antoine Griezmann with a back heel, then a back heel into Arturo Vidal, and then that back heel into Messi, and Messi get it past Ruiz Silva and back into the net. Overall, amazing play. Incredible Barcelona goal. So many Barcelona tiki-taka chances. I'm just going at 1,000 miles per hour right now, but that's because I'm happy, because I'm excited. Because in reality, I don't want to be doing this video. In reality, I want to get back and watch the highlights. So now getting to the individual players that I really want to mention, the 3 best players for me in the field today. Number 1, it was Lionel Messi. Of course, it had to be the king, the man, Lionel Messi. The destiny kind of was written in it that he was off to set the Quique Setien era, wasn't it? That's how it happens here at Barcelona. Everything is a little bit magical in it. But, well, Messi played with a lot of kind of just a breath of fresh air, new attitude bursted in him. He looked 5 years younger. He really did. He was winning all the balls back. He was shouting for when the ball was not given our way, even though it was supposed to be given to Granada. He was just involved, and he showed dedication, and he showed importance. He showed that he wanted to be here, and now he shares that mentality with Quique Setien. And number 2, I'm going to be going with Sergio Busquets. At one point, if you didn't notice, Busquets was pressuring the goalkeeper. Busquets, our CDM, that doesn't freaking move. That I've been saying, he's a slug, literally a slug, no legs. I've been saying that this guy should be in the bench. He was pressuring the goalkeeper. He was acting as a center forward for one stage, and a goal could have even happened from that, because then Ruizila had to be forced out to a very bad clearance. We won the ball back quickly, fell into Griezmann, then Ansu Fati, and Fati didn't have the ground enough to kind of just position the ball into the net. He shoot off target. But Busquets pressuring the goalkeeper further up the field was something just incredible. It really, really was. It showed that he was, similarly to Messi, back into the right mentality. But I have to attribute all that to the change of the midfield, because now with the additions of 3 players alongside him, Jordi Alba, Rakitic and Vidal, he can focus much more on his actual job, and that is distributing the ball, progressing the play forward. And that is the best thing that he did today. His association was just impeccable, incredible, because he knew that he didn't have to worry about that. And now finally, I want to dedicate the last few minutes of this video to RIQUI PUIG, because great done, congratulations to RIQUI PUIG for getting his debut with the first team now with Barcelona in La Liga. Incredible debut. I gotta say something really short is that I was surprised that he's not as tall. He's 20 years old, he doesn't have that much time to grow. But it's not a problem when you have the quality at his feet like he does, because he came in, perfectly understood the mentality of the team, perfectly understood, like Ansu Fati when he came in his debut, the same wavelengths, the same rhythm, the same kind of passing lanes that he had to make, the same connections, everything, the links was perfect from RIQUI PUIG. Really good. One mispass in the entirety of his play, one misplaced pass. That's everything wrong he did, literally. And the goal came from his act. Literally, the goal came from him. If you're telling me that he doesn't deserve to start over someone like Rakitic for the next game, I don't know what I can tell you. Now it's up to Quique Setien, and here's where we have to see that new form of him, because we have never seen him manage this big of players. He has to put his hand in there to shake things up from a mentality point of view. He already done that, but now he has to change it from a tactical point of view. He has to have the balls to take out Rakitic and put in RIQUI PUIG. That is what we have to see for the Copa del Rey game, and then for the game afterwards against Valencia. We have to see Quique Setien making those harsh changes. Because, for instance, I also think that putting Umtiti instead of Lenglet was a huge positive. Umtiti was breaking lines, goddammit. He was coming into the midfield, pressuring, winning the ball back, and then just hoping to restart the attack for Barcelona. Everything was a perfect cycle. Every single player was working towards, like I say, the same thing. God damn it, Barcelona are back. I'm not afraid to say it. So that's gonna be everything for today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed this game. Subscribe for more, leave us a like, leave us your comments down below. I'll read them through it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.